the entire Egyptian FA executive, including its president, resigned on the spot.
What? In today's episode of Sportsfanatics, considering how far Bafana have gone so far, the questions still linger. Is the current generation of players capable of reliving the seemingly lost glory attained by their predecessors 27 years ago?
The goal for South Africa! Launches scores! Williams sends South Africa into the semi-finals!
My name is Opa Maisela, and I'm the Sports Fanatic. Can Bafana still be as vintage and deadly as before? And 27 years after annexing the African Nations Cup in their maiden appearance and in their own backyard as hosts back in 1996.
Cup final, and we're 17 minutes away from potentially lifting that trophy. Can he get a second? Yeah, lays it on. This is a chance. Yes! Mark Williams has scored! Kumalo laid it on. Mark Williams tucked it past the keeper.
And with that, Bafana lifted their first continental trophy in their debut tournament appearance.
And the African Nations Cup belongs to South Africa for the next 2 years. What a magnificent day for the country.
Can the current generations replicate the seemingly lost glory attained back then, just 2 years into democracy?
We stand by it.
2 years later in 1998, as defending Afcon champions in Egypt, Bafana unleashed a monster called Benny McCarthy.
Personal solo triumph for the Ajax striker Benny McCarthy.
The first player and only Bafana player to bulge the net 4 times in one match in a 4-1 demolition of Namibia. McCarthy went on to finish top scorer with 7 goals alongside Egyptian great Hossam Hassan. But despite all the heroics, the defending champions fell 2-0 at the hands of the Egyptian hosts in the final match. From then on, it seems as if Bafana were on a backward trajectory, crashing out 2-0 to Nigeria in the semi-finals of the 2000 edition and going only as far as the quarterfinals in 2002.
Occasional one from Nombete, and now Nigeria might be in again. It's Babangida again. It's a wonderful finish. A wonderful finish. Goal after just 40 seconds. And now the second for Nigeria.
However, a glimmer of hope came in 2013 when South Africa hosted the tournament for the second time. But all hopes to relive that glory quickly evaporated when the team got eliminated in the quarterfinals after a nerve-wracking penalty shootout. Siphiwe Tshabalala produced some semblance of hope when he slotted his penalty. However, the following take by Dean Fairman was saved by the keeper. The same transpired when May Mahlangu's kick was also saved. And when Lihlonolo Majoro squandered his take, South Africa will not repeat the glorious days of 1996. Hope was again reignited with the 2019 Afcon edition in Egypt. And who can forget the heroics of one Thembinkosi Lodge, who was instrumental in the elimination of the hosts in the quarterfinals of the showpiece. This match is one of the biggest matches that I will remember because nobody gave Bafana a chance, having performed woefully, as we might actually put it, in the group stages.
South Africa, coached by Stuart Baxter, who's led this team into the last 16. They scraped through the group stage.
But Bafana had no chance against the Egyptians. Remember, the Egyptians were the host and they had a star in the form of Mohamed Salah. But in came Lodge after an outcry, and he performed what would be termed as a miracle.
That's a great ball. This is a 2 against 1 situation. And that's a great ball into the midfield. Going in a goal. It's a goal for South Africa. Lodge has scored. South Africa have knocked out the hosts, Egypt.
Scoring right at the tail end of the game, and Bafana winning 1-0. It was unbelievable.
Benz, what a remarkable finish. Great work by Matiba. Slick work and a beautiful finish. Got this straight up. There's the final whistle.
It's always a great pleasure to hear from those who witness the action from the front row. SABC Sports journalist Velile Mnyandu witnessed Lodge's momentous performance that also caused a ripple effect within the host country's football FA structure.
I was there in 2019. We're in Egypt. Thembekose Lodge. Upakse kafuna umdlalisa ndoda uLodge. You know, engafuna umdlalisa uLodge. Hey, say media lapha we're on his case. Even ala ekhaya back home, abantu all the time on social media. Hey, ufika nini? Ngena. You know, amfaka ndoda, amfaka uLodge. 90,000 people. 90,000 people. Cairo International Stadium. I think it's only about like 10 minutes. Waba! Lodge.
Give him 10.
You know, after that game, standing ovation, Cairo International Stadium, Egypt. Shy Egypt. Ne? Shy Egypt. At Cairo. You know what happened after that game? Standing ovation. And the entire Egyptian FA executive, including its president, resigned on the spot.
What? So you were there, you witnessed it.
Yeah.
It must have been emotional. I mean, as a South African, you know, one of your fellow South Africans causing people to resign.
And we were wearing Bafana's jerseys at the time.
Yes. That was as far as Bafana could go, as the team crashed out in the quarterfinals to nemesis Nigeria. After failing to make it to the 2022 Afcon showpiece in Cameroon, it was certainly time for a rebuilding process for Bafana. Enter the towering Belgian coach, Hugo Broos, in May 2021. He would go on to transform the national team from has-beens to a third-place position at the Ivory Coast-held Afcon tournament in 2024.
Goalless between the two nations as they go in search of a place in the semi-finals.
Not only that, his trusted lieutenant and team captain Ronwen Williams stole the show as the first and only goalkeeper to save 4 penalties in one match in the history of the Afcon tournament.
Andrade against Ronwen Williams. Williams sends South Africa into the semi-finals for the first time since 2000.
For his heroics, he backed both the goalkeeper of the tournament and Golden Gloves accolades.
Mishak sounds his pen.
As if that was not enough, and in recognition for his stellar performance in Ivory Coast, Williams became the first African-based shot-stopper to be nominated for the Goalkeeper of the Year award, known as the Yashin Trophy at the Ballon d'Or Awards, that recognizes the cream of the crop of players around the world.
I'm just happy, you know, that the country is behind me now. I've seen the growth, especially in the voting. And, you know, when we get together as a country, you know, it's amazing. And it's not about Ronwen Williams. It's about, you know, the young kids that I'm seeing outside here and to inspire them to dream big, you know. And, yeah, I'm just proud and happy that, you know, as South Africans, we're standing behind our own.
Considering how far Bafana have gone so far, the questions still linger. Is the current generation of players capable of reliving the seemingly lost glory attained by their predecessors 27 years ago? Only time will tell. Stay put as we track Bafana's road back to the glory days while showcasing South Africa's best sporting moments. My name is Opa Maisela, and I'm the Sports Fanatics.